Good morning, ma'am. My name is Leo Tubat, and I am going to present the Module 4 of the Institutional-Based Correction. First is the Bureau of Corrections, RA 10575. So what is Bureau of Corrections, RA 10575? So it is the policy of the state to promote the general welfare and safeguard the basic rights of every prisoner incarcerated in our national penitentiary by promoting and ensuring the reformation and social integration, creating an environment conducive to rehabilitation and compliant with the United Nations standards minimum rules for treatment of prisoners. So it is called the UNSMRTP. So it is recognized by the responsibility of the state to strengthen government capability aimed towards the institutionalization of highly efficient and competent correctional services. So imprisonment and other measures which result in cutting off an offender from the outside world are afflictive by the very fact of taking from the persons the right of self-determination by depriving him of his liberty. Therefore, the prison system shall not accept as incidental to the justifiable segregation or the maintenance of discipline, aggravate suffering inherent in each situation. The purpose of justification of a sentence of imprisonment is a similar measure to deprivative of liberty is ultimately to protect society against crime. This end can only be achieved if the period of imprisonment is used to ensure so far as possible that upon his return to society, the offender is not only willing but able to lead the law-abiding and self-supporting life. So, to this end, the institution should utilize all the remedial education, moral, spiritual, and other forces and forms of assistance which are appropriate and available, and should seek to apply them according to the individual treatment needs of the prisoners. So, in the national scope, the Bureau of Corrections, BUCOR, shall be able to completely deliver the actual realization of deterrence, restraint, reformation, retribution, and restoration as major interventions for the treatment of law offenders towards a safe, secure, harmonious, and progressive Philippine society. So towards this end, the state shall be provided for the modernization, professionalization, and restructuring of the Bureau of Corrections by upgrading its facilities, increasing the number of its personnel, upgrading the level of qualification of their personnel, and standardizing their base pay, retirement, and other benefits, making it at the par with the Bureau of Jail Management and the Penology, or BJMP, and maximization of land use development for the agency's sustainability. So the purpose of IRR, the following terms or words and phrases shall mean or understand as follows. Acts refers to RA 10575 entitled An Act Strengthening the Bureau of Corrections, BUCOR, and providing funds, therefore otherwise known as the Bureau of Corrections under of 2013. And then active services, which refers to the services rendered as a civilian official or employee in the Philippine government, including services rendered in the uniformed service prior to the date of separation or retirement. So the admin, it will refers to administrative. Administrative requirement refers to the sufficient provision of personnel, facilities, equipment, and supplies. So the admission refers to the manner of receiving national inmates, a detainee or convicted prison in facility committed by the courts or other competent authority to serve sentence for the certain period for the temporary confinement. So base pay refers to a fixed amount of compensation for regular work rendered designated in the salary schedule for uniformed personnel for all ranks computed on monthly or annual basis, including fringe benefits and other allowances. So BUCOR refers to the Bureau of Corrections. Bureau of Corrections refers to the central office and the prison and penal farms, which are known as colonies. The central office, headed by the Director General, has control and proper supervision over the prison and penal farms. So the circumferential, it refers to the adjective or a set of activities, programs, and areas of concern which are independently concentrated towards accomplishing a core objective or function. So civil identity refers to societal functional identity recognized, granted by government agencies and authorities, for example, judge, attorney, and accountant. So competent authority refers to the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Supreme Court, Court of Appeals, Sandigan Bayan, Regional Trial Court, Metropolitan Trial Court, Municipal Trial Court, Municipal Circuit Trial Court, Sharia Court, and military courts, House of Representatives, Senate, COMELEC, Bureau of Immigration, Board of Pardons and Parole, and the other courts of jurisdiction under provided for by law. So, criminal networks refers to illegal arrangements and linkages forged by shady characters aimed to conduct unlawful activities. Deputy Director, it refers to two-star rank, General Officer of BUCOR Uniformed Personnel. Deputy Director General refers to the second officer in command of a BUCOR with the rank of Assistant Secretary, a civilian employee in the uniformed service who is authorized to wear the two-star rank insignia, a symbol of authority and command responsibility. So deterrence, when it is a retribution, when the retribution is imposed upon a person who has committed a crime. So the person has committed a crime, the discomfort inflicted will dissuade the offenders and others from repeating the crime. When the theory refers to the specific offender who committed the crime is then known as the special deterrence, describes the effect that punishment has when it serves as a public example or threat that deters from other than the initial offender from committing similar crimes. Director General refers to the highest officer in BUCOR with the rank of Undersecretary as a civilian employee in the uniformed service who is authorized to wear the 3-star rank insignia, a symbol of authority and command responsibility. So the DOJ, it refers to the Department of Justice. And then the inmate refers to a person confined in a jail or prisons to serve his or her sentence so far, or safekeeping, who is officially called person deprived of liberty. So the IRR refers to revised implementing rules and regulations of 10575. The national inmate refers to an inmate sentenced by the court to serve a term of imprisonment for more than 3 years or the fine 1,000 pesos or regardless of the length of sentence imposed by the court. To one sentence or violations of customs law or other laws within the jurisdiction of the Bureau of Customs or enforceable by it, or the violation of immigration and election laws, or the one sentence to served 2 or more prison sentences in the aggregate exceeding the period of 3 years, whether or not he has appealed. It shall also include a person committed to the Bureau of Corrections by a court of competent authority for temporary confinement for similar purpose. So, person deprived of liberty refers to a detainee, inmate, or prisoner or other system under confinement or custody in any other manner. However, in order to prevent labeling, branding, or shaming by the use of this or other derogatory words, and term prisoner has been replaced by his new and neutral phrase, person deprived of liberty, under the Article of 10, International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, shall be treated with humanity and be respect for the inherent dignity of human person. So personal identity refers to social recognition according the member of the family, parent, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, grandfather, grandparents, and other community which is the neighbor. So the practitioner research refers to research and or workplace research, such as evaluation performed by individuals who also work in professional field as opposed to being full-time academic researchers. So prison refers to a government establishment where national inmates or prisoners serve their sentence. So Philippine prisons are also known as penal colonies or prison and penal farm. There are a total of 7 penal colonies presented under the control and supervision of the Bureau of Corrections. So the reformation, it refers to the rehabilitation component of the Bucors present correction system shall refer to the acts which ensure the public, including families of inmates and other victims, that released and national inmates are no longer harmful to the community by becoming reformed individuals prepared to live a normal and productive life upon reintegration to the mainstream society. So release refers to the procedures where an inmate is discharged from prison by expiration of sentence, granted parole, a grant of any other forms of executive clemency, and other of the court or competent authority. So reservation refers to a penal or prison land reservation are comparable to the military preservation area. So restoration refers to a victim-oriented approach to crime that emphasizes restitution, compensation for victims. So this advocates restoring the victim and creating constructive rules for victims in the criminal justice process, rather than focus on the punishment of criminals. So restraint refers to confinement to incapacitate or deny a criminal an ability or opportunity to commit further crimes that harm society. So retribution refers to making a person accountable for offense committed, by serving sentence, community service, fines, and other means. Safekeeping refers to the custodial mandate of the Bucors present correction system and shall refer to the act that ensures the public, including the families or inmates and their victims, that national inmates are provided with their basic needs. The safekeeping or inmates shall moreover comprise decent supervision for their basic needs, which include habitable quarters, food, water, clothing, and other care in compliance with the established UNSMRTP and consistent with restoring the dignity of every inmate and guaranteeing full respect of human rights. The complementary component of safekeeping in custodial function is security, which ensures that inmates are completely incapacitated from further committing criminal acts and have been totally cut off from their criminal networks or contacts in the free society while serving sentence inside the premises of the National Penitentiary. Security also includes protection against illegal organized armed groups which have the capacity of launching an attack on any prison camp of the National Penitentiary to rescue their convicted comrade or to forcibly amass firearms during to corrections officers. So, the secretary refers to the Secretary of Justice. So, the security camp refers to the large enclosed area with dormitories, sports facilities, religious facilities, and other necessary facilities where national inmates or prisoners are confined to serve their sentence. So, there are at least 3 types of security camps: maximum security camp, medium security camp, and minimum security camp. So jailed inmates are confined in the prison cells called jails, not in the security camps while undergoing court trials or awaiting court sentence. So senior and lineal list (SLL) refers to a document containing the names of all officers in the active correction service, arranged by the grade and in accordance with their relative seniority for each regular component and by service to which they are appointed. Similar professional skills refers and a similar professional skills refers to person administration, resource management, and engineering skills. The next slide is the next topic is the custody. So custody, first, custody is that you are legally responsible or another person, they are in your custody. So most parents have custody in their children. The word custody brings with it the meaning of care for. When someone is in your custody, it is not just that they reside with you in a, so it is that you are responsible for taking good care of them. So the word custody brings with the meaning of the care of, with the care for. So when someone is in your custody, it's not the reside you, it is that the responsible for taking good care of them. So you are arrested, you will be taken into police custody. So while in jail, it is their responsibility to protect you from harm. So it is the custody. And then the types of custody orders are legal custody, which means the makes important decisions from your children like healthcare, education and welfare, and physical custody, which means your children will live. So synonym of custody, it is the care or guardianship, no? So that these types of custodies are joint custody, which means custody of the child shared by divorced or separated parents who alternate physical custody of the share in the decisions regarding the child, also called shared custody. So physical custody means the custody includes sharing a residence with the child. So sole custody is a custody awarded until a final judgment in a matter as a divorce is made official restraint on the freedom as the arrest of imprisonment or the release of bail, personal recognizance, probation, or parole. So constructive custody refers of a person as a parole who is not under the immediate physical control but whose freedom is controlled or restrained by legal authority. Penal custody refers of a person as in a correctional institution as a form of punishment. Physical custody refers to a person as a arrestee, so whose freedom is under the actual and immediate control of an official. So preventive custody refers a person who is a criminal defendant awaiting trial for the purpose of behavior. So protective custody, protective custody, it is a physical custody of a person for his or her own safety. So custody is a legal right of duty to care for someone or something, especially a child after its parents have separated for dead. The state of being kept in prison, especially while awaiting to go to trial. There are control exercised by a person on authority over something or someone, as supervision and control over property that usually includes liability for damage that may occur. So care and maintenance of a child that includes the right to direct the child's activities and make decisions regarding the child's upbringing. So custody of a child shared by divorced or separated parents who alternate physical custody of the share in decisions regarding the child. For example, the court awarded, granted, or gave custody of a child to father, so the mother received custody of the child. So the parents are given joint custody. A guardian or keeping safe. So the custody is is like a guardian or keeping safe, care, protection, and guardship. A state of being detained or held under the guard, especially by the police. So custody is the care of the person or thing, generally under court orders, or the state of being held by force. For example, the state of being imprisoned or detained, usually pending trial. Any significant restraint or control over the person's freedom to ensure his or her presence and at hearing or trial in the criminal action. So the physical control over a minor awarded by a court to parent in a divorce or separation proceeding in a similar action between the unmarried parents of the child. So such control usually includes the right to have the child live with the parent who is awarded custody, the right to determine the bringing of the child, including the care, discipline, education, religion, and residence of the child. So the right to make all legal decisions concerning the child and the duty to care for and maintain the child. See also the visitation rights. So the arrangement ordered by a court to agreed upon the divorce or sentence parents of a minor or by which only one parent makes all the decisions and has all authority and responsibilities concerning the care and upbringing of his or her child to the exclusion of the other parent. So the right of having one's children in one's immediate care awarded under various arrangements to one or both of the parents by a court as a result of a divorce or separation. So the immediate control, guarding, or keeping of a thing, or its care, inspection, preservation, or security, the restraint and control over a person who is incarcerated following that person's conviction of the offense, an arrangement ordered by a court or agreed upon by the divorced or separated parents of a minor, by which the parents shared all the authority, decisions, and responsibilities concerning the care and upbringing of the child, although the minor still primarily resides usually with the only one of the parents.